No, I was born this way. I never had still first class. I always drew a lot as a kid and when I went into commercial art, advertising jobs, so I could make a living doing art. And I worked for the dairy farm in Wisconsin. That's cheese and everything smelted. So one time ago, when I knew I was
No, really, come on.
Artist,
all right.
yeah. Artist, sculptor. It's very cheesy, yeah. This is cheddar. No, I'm too busy doing cheese. During the Ohio Fair, I'm at Indiana or Michigan. Sure.
Okay. Write that down.
We have identified who is the team kinds of cheese we have determined.
I'll let you interview the cheese lady. Yeah. He knows it's cheese. There you go. There we go.
Very good.
I'm telling you, I'm not
That is the most expensive part of the contest. So we have like 20 different kind of cheeses. So if you break them down into cheese or white, cheese, yellow, cheese, or blue cheese.
big cheese fan. I don't know all the kinds, but I like that.
Let's get a non-St. Matthew's question. We got some good questions. Go ahead, First is that level. Savannah, Ohio, Champaign County, where I grew up. Moved to Illinois. That's how that young guy is. I forget what the guy's name was, but he was a brand new. Hey, nice necklace. Thanks. I got a yellow speaker. And we will be champions, but that head-to-head, I think, is the crux of your question, which is, was that worse than if we're not saying wins that are horrible wins, they lock up the spot and then, of course, that head-to-head. There's no question.
That's hard, man.
You want me to say your
Actually, I'm me and my two grandsons started sitting row one and right with Wisconsin people built up. Good seats though. Like what? Four different seats scattered around. Like you got the three people together, then the grandson. Hey, we like to go. Let me see what I can do here. Last week. We have a common interest.
Sure you can. Okay. Sure.
All right, we are back as Sarah continues her work, and we're back with a very special guest. It's Larry Lokai. Larry obviously is has quite the get-up going on, and some Buckeye fans might recognize him. He's the Buckeye man. Larry, tell everyone out there who aren't familiar a little bit about your story, about yourself.
Well, basically, I'm one of those traditional graduates of The Ohio State University, and I just wanted to prove one thing when I retired in 1996, that there is life after retirement. This is my 20th year of being Buckeye man, and I kind of really didn't plan on anything being magnificent or fancy. However, I stole Brutus Buckeye's part of his name on Neutron Man. I was a famous fan back then, so I put Brutus Buckeye, that's where the Buckeye came from, and Neutron Man, that's where the man, so I started getting involved in a few activities, got involved with the Loudest College fan in 2000. Ohio State started winning some Buckeyes. So since I started doing Buckeye Man, we right now have given away, donated 1.5 million Buckeyes to fans across the land. Every student that's come through Ohio State since 2002 has received a Buckeye orientation. Now, the other things we do, now I'm not a rich person, I'm a retired teacher, so we have given away over 40,000 Buckeye necklaces over the years, and traditionally we also give away some Buckeye seedlings. So we're up to about 1,600 now. So my way of paying back to Ohio State, by the way, we've already had our 23rd, my granddaughter graduates here in December, and that'll be our 23rd degree. I still have 4 grandchildren going to Ohio State. We do, and so that'll make us up to about 26 or so, and I think I got 2 more in the pipeline. So we actually believe highly in the value of an education. So we're not a rich family, but we do spend a lot of time at Ohio State, and we pay back with Buckeyes and other kinds of things of that nature.
Yeah, Buckeye legacy family to be sure. Larry, tell me about the necklace you got going on here. That's something else.
Well, prior to this year, I had 8 Buckeye necklaces, and that was because we had 8 national titles. They weighed 7 pounds. We had 7 Heisman Trophy winners, and there was 113 Buckeyes on there because that's how many times we played Michigan. However, they became very weighty. Now, if you do the count now, there are 4 necklaces. All 4 of our children have attended Ohio State University. I was born in 1942. Guess what? Only a coincidence, there are actually 42 Buckeyes on this necklace, and they're a lot easier to carry around. When you put 113 Buckeyes around your neck, you have a little bit of weight and actually it pulls on the back of your neck. So I want to be a little more traditional and try to be somewhat of an average type of fan.
So there's a method to the madness, to be sure. Larry, you're a cheese guy yourself. I'm a cheese guy, but Larry's a real cheese guy. Larry, you have a background in cheese, correct?
Partially. I taught high school agriculture for 30 years, but just kind of a coincidence this last year, I worked with 3 schools in Ohio for the Dairy Foods Contest, and one of the things we had to do was identify different type of cheeses, like the 3 cousins. Colby cheese is about the 4-week aging cheese, and then its next cousin is the mild cheddar, which is about an 8-week aging process, and then you got the sharp cheddar, which is about a 12-week. So one of the things we had to do in the contest, I actually worked with the state championship team the last 2 years from East Knox FFA or Howard, Ohio, and then was very fortunate that another school, Lynchburg Clay, was actually the state runner-up in dairy foods products, and then of course the third school was East Clinton. So one of the key things we had to do is identify cheeses by type, by taste, by texture, moisture content, and fat content. So we studied this quite a bit, and I ate a lot of cheese in this past year working with students, but cheese eaters make healthy individuals. And I did grow up in a dairy farm back in the 50s and 60s, so I had a little bit of background in that area.
All right, so he knows his stuff. We're going to let Buckeye Man ask the cheese lady a couple questions about cheese before he gets signs off here.
Okay, and her name is?
Sarah Kaufman.
Sarah.
Hi, Buckeye Man.
How are you doing this fine day?
Great, great. It's great to be here.
You know, one of the cheeses I like the best probably is Colby because it's a lot milder now. What is your favorite cheese?
My favorite cheese is cheeses like Gruyere, Alpines. I love creamy Gorgonzola, and the current thing is called Bellavitano, soaked in Merlot.
Holy mackerel! You like the fancy cheeses that I'm not even acquainted with. I'm not kind of a basic backwoods kind of a guy. I just like the basic cheeses. But is there any particular kind you like to cook with?
I cook with the big cheeses. Like if I'm going to cook, I use sharp cheddar. You get more flavor from less cheese. I love cooking with Gruyere, melting it, or Gouda on a bagel. Cooking. I still like macaroni and cheese, but I do more than just cheddar. I add Parmesan and Asiago and Gruyere.
Well, I know that when I always go to restaurants, they come around that little cheese squeezer,
Yes.
and we put some cheese on here, and I always tell them only on Sundays. If it's a Sunday, I say only on Saturdays. But I like cheese in the moisture content, but some of those real dry cheeses, I don't quite have the content. So
That's all about your palate.
okay. Oh, it is? Okay. Well, and keep it clean.
All right, thanks for joining us, Buckeye Man. Before we go, I'm going to need a prediction from you for the game tonight. What's going to go down tonight in Indy?
You know, I've heard a lot of sports broadcasters talk about this. Half the people say Wisconsin's going to win, half say Ohio State. Both teams are good. Unfortunately, tonight, it's not going to be Wisconsin's night. They are going to get 2 touchdowns. They're going to get 14 points. However, we're going to get 35, and we are probably going to make a big impression on the committee tomorrow. So at noon tomorrow, I'm going to watch TV and see if we'll win the 14. I think we're going to beat Wisconsin because they have not quite played the strength of schedule. They've only had 4 teams that had winning records. We played at least 6 that had winning records. So strength of schedule is important, but we got too much power for them. We got too many weapons. So 35-14, read them and weep.
All right, you make a strong case. Thanks for joining us, Buckeye Man, cheese aficionado. Thanks for taking the time, and great interview, by the way.
Okay, and by the way, quick Buckeye test for you, OH. You're supposed to say IO.
I'll say it, I-O.
Good deal.
We'll let Sarah continue here. Sarah, give us an update, actually, on where you're at in the process right now.
All
Right now I'm working on my front, so I have my raised lettering. I'm digging away the background so that these letters really pop. And I will inlay some white here so that they have some texture.
All right, we'll be back in a little bit with more questions for Sarah. Maybe we'll get a mega Wisconsin fan in here to even it out. So stay tuned.
Help yourself. Toothpicks, please. That's cheddar from Wisconsin. Well, I don't have all that much. Yeah. Hello, hi. And it tastes great too. I know we're gonna we had our own Wisconsin cheese on the way here. Yes.
On this side, yes.
All right, give it up for him one more time. Give it up for him. This is the BTS tailgate. Now, here's the deal. We have a lot of stuff going on. We come to give away some t-shirts. Can we give away some t-shirts real quick? You guys cool with that? We got t-shirt right down here, man. T-shirt band. Let's look at this. This is a Wisconsin shirt, I believe. Now, I want to step up. Here's going to try this band. You guys can come in here. This is not off limits. Like, get in here. Come in here. Here we go. Okay, that was a little bit like short. Let's get it out into the masses. Here we go, DJ Redline.
All right, we're back on Facebook Live. We got BTN.com's very own Tom Dienhart joining us. First of all, Tom, you've been around sports a long time. You ever seen anything like this?
Never, man. That Buckeye man had my outfit on him. Glad I didn't put my face paint on or my necklace, but
It might have been you.
yeah,
It might have been you.
Yeah, it's always fun here with the cheese lady, obviously, and hopefully see a good football game tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got the Buckeyes and the Badgers going tonight. Tom, you know, we're talking cheese mostly on this Facebook Live. Let's talk a little football. Who you got tonight and why?
You know, I picked Wisconsin, Alex. I just think the difference is going to be quarterback. Obviously, nobody knows the status of JT Barrett, how healthy he will be, if he plays, how long he will play. So I think, again, in the end, both these defenses want to stop the run, so it's going to come down to which quarterback can make the most throws downfield. I think that's going to be Hornibrook.
All right, that's enough football talk for now. We got cheese in front of us. Let's talk food. Tom, you know, there's some great places to eat in Indy. Tell everyone out there, they might be coming through, might be coming for the game tonight. Where's some good places to eat around town?
Tell you, Alex, we got a good steak last night at Harry and Izzy's, outstanding. Also, Shapiro's Deli right adjacent to Lucas Oil Stadium. Great corned beef, so there's no shortage of great restaurants in Indianapolis.
No doubt. And Tom, I know off camera you wanted to ask the cheese lady a question, so have at it. Tom Dienhart, meet Sarah Kaufman.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi.
Hey, who's your all-time favorite Badger football player? You got one? Ron Dane?
I can't think.
Okay.
Cheesy Smith.
Smith. That was going to be my choice. But yeah, you did.
Ron Dane.
Good choice on Ron Dane, yeah. It's looking good on the trophy. Love it.
All right, Sarah, we got a couple questions. We got people watching on Facebook Live. They have questions for you. So the first one from Facebook Live is, what is your favorite type of cheese to use on a grilled cheese sandwich?
Well, I am a big Gruyere fan. They say the Alpine cheeses, and Wisconsin makes lots of those. So I love Gruyere, and I want to mix in a little smooth. I'll put a little bit of Havarti on there to smooth it out.
There you go. All right, another question from a fan. This is a good one. I had this question myself, actually. Tell me about the hat. Is the hat made of real cheese, and what's the story behind that hat?
Well, this is a true cheesehead, Wisconsin cheesehead hat. We have many glamorous styles beyond the triangle. Many, many, many. You should check it out. We just Google cheeseheads, and you'll see all the hats.
Yeah, Wisconsin fans are known for having the cheesehead, especially Packers fans. Tell me a little bit more about the whole outfit you got going. You got the cow apron, and there's even a tail in the back.
Well, I often work like this with my back to people. So I was sitting on a chair and thinking, oh, I need to excite this up. So it's also a subliminal education. Cow, milk, cheese. And then I added the tail is quite a conversation piece and a good icebreaker.
Yeah, it's a nice touch for sure. You've said in the past, you carve all over the country. You said you enjoy talking while you carve, and you're obviously very good at it. Why do you enjoy talking to people while you're doing your work?
Well, there's a great message about Wisconsin and dairy and cheese and the nutrition in dairy. And coming from Wisconsin, I worked for the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin for many years in marketing, and so I'm just like a litany of messages and nutrition and how cheese is made. Because one of the things is the large cheeses, large sizes. People are shocked to even see 20 pounds of cheese, 40 pounds of cheese that these are made out of, and the big 500-pound and 1,000-pound cheeses, so they're just in shock. So I talk about that this is just the way cheese has been done for centuries in Wisconsin and all over the world.
Yeah, you can't see it on camera, but there's a lot of fans gathered. They've been coming up all day to sample the cheese, get pictures with the cheese lady. It's been a lot of fun so far. Sarah, update us where you're at right now in the process carving. You've been making progress all day. It looks like you're going into finer details right now.
Well, this is my final detail. In my mind, I break down what are the most important parts I have to get on here. And the Big Ten 2017, I'll putting on championship trophy here, and then the name of the sculpture's dedication name. So I break it down into what I have to do. You can see my football here is roughed in. I shape this in. I'm going to be doing the detail on the Big Ten and also the white. I'll insert the white here that is indicative of college football. And this will be our crown up here.
Awesome.
So I break this down in which way I absolutely have to get done in case I run out of time.
All right, we'll let you get back to it. We don't want to keep you too long.
No worries.
All right, so we'll let you get back to it, and we'll be back with more guests shortly here on Facebook Live.
Where are you from?
Me, I was born in Manitowoc.
Yes.
And lived in Madison for 26 years. Then I moved to Ohio. Now I live in San Diego. Thanks. I lived in Cincinnati and worked at. I lived in Cincinnati and worked at Jungle Gym.
How's the cheese out in San Diego?
Well, it's not as great this year. Yeah.
Okay, so you're just walking up here and trying to figure out what in the world.
This is 2 40-pound blocks, all my carvings here, and there's a lot of trim because this is from half of
So in the meantime, we have a DQ sign making thing going on. You can make a sign up. Head on over and make a sign. That's the best part of our BTA tailgate show. I think it's some of the most creative signs
there's a
in the
lot
country. Matter of fact, we're giving away free t-shirts for the most creative signs of today. So if you want to get your sign on TV, this is the spot to be. You guys have a sign? Tell you what, you guys make a sign, come back to you. The first sign here, I'll give you free t-shirts. How about that? Make a little sign right there at the DQ sign making kit. While you're there, if you grab a raffle ticket, we're giving away 2 autographed footballs from Urban Meyer and 2 from Paul Chris at 5 o'clock as soon as the show is over. So if you're going to be here at the show, hang out to the end. We're going to give away those autographed footballs. In the meantime, we got DJ Redline up here. We're playing some of the jammy jams. We're dancing, we're having fun. I want to give away some free stuff though, so here's what I'm going to do. I need 2 Wisconsin fans and 2 Ohio State fans. I don't need DQ fans now. All right, we got a Wisconsin fan right here. We got a Ohio State fan. I need 2 more fans. I need another Wisconsin fan and another Ohio State fan. I got Ohio State and 1 more Wisconsin. Okay, come on over. Here's what we're going to do. You guys ready? I'm going to give you that hat. Give me that hat. Okay, face it. You can spread out. Face, spread out a little bit. Now your job is to throw the hat and land it on their head. Okay? If you land it on their head, you guys both can have to keep. But I think this is too short. We're going to scoot you back, right? Scoot back a little bit. How's this distance look? You feel good about this? You guys feel good about this? Oh, hold on. I need your name. What's your name? Carter and Brennan. You guys play sport? Yep. Play football? So this should be easy. You guys play some good play football, right? You know how to get that all the way over there? The chickens, you guys get the cuts. You ready for this? All right, now, you guys. I need to know your names. Steven. Now, yes, sir. Go Bucks. That's why I didn't give you a mic card. I knew you were going to yell something. All right, you guys ready for this? How many of you guys think my Wisconsin team's going to win? Make some noise. I believe in you. How many of you guys think my Ohio State team's going to win? Make some noise. All right, boys, we're ready. If you land it on their head, you guys both get a hat to keep. You guys ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. First team to do it gets a hat. You got to catch it on the head. That's close. Come on, keep it going as fast as you can. You can throw it either direction. Whoever wants to catch it, you got to catch it on your head. Make sure you keep that distance. Don't come too close, Wisconsin. There you go. Come on. Oh, we're so close. Cheer them on, guys. Cheer them on. We can get this. Come on. We're close. Wisconsin's getting close here. Oh, that was so close. Come on, guys. You got this. I believe in you. Give him that frisbee toss. We love you. There you go. That was close. Wisconsin, you guys are so close. We got our first winner. Now, here's the deal. You guys did such a good job. Should I give them hats too? Should I give them hats too? Good deal, you guys. Come on, we all winning hats. By the way, 3 to 5 right here on our show. We're going to give t-shirts to the first 200 people that are here on live TV right here in the DQ fan zone. That starts in just over an hour. If you want to be part of that, 3 t-shirts for the first 200 people. You guys are right here. You're going to get free shirts. And if you make a sign on it, have you seen our show? The best part of our show is the creative signs on national TV. You know where you can make a sign? Right there, the DQ sign making kit. That's right. If you just walked up and you're like, I didn't know I was going to be up to you guys. We're going to get that covered. We got blank signs. We got all the markers you could possibly want. You can draw whatever you keep it friendly. It is a family show. But you can talk some trash. You can make a score prediction. Welcome to the BTA tailgate.
are very talented.
You guys want a free shirt? You guys want a free shirt? I'll tell you what, we're going to give free t-shirts to the first 200 people that are here for our show. At 3 o'clock, the first 200 people here in the DQ fan zone. Wait, do we have Buckeyes fans or Wisconsin fans here? I feel like we should do a little competition. Should we do a little competition? Alright, hang on just a second. Okay, your job when I say go is to work that football from your feet up to your mouth. And here's the deal, you cannot use your hands or elbows, or else you're disqualified. If you drop the ball, you're disqualified. The goal at the end is the ball will be between your mouths. You have to hold for 3 seconds. The team that does that, both wins, your choice, whatever hat or beanie you have, you both get it. Deal? And then your friends all get t-shirts. That's how it's gonna work. So, when I say go, we're gonna put out some music. We gotta work this. If you drop the ball, we put it back in the ground, start on the first team to get it up there, win. How many guys think Wisconsin's gonna do this? How many guys think Ohio State guys are gonna do this right here?
Oh, we do.
Alright, here we go. Count it down. 3. Here we go. No hands. Ooh, I like the start. It's creative. No hands. Keep those hands behind your back. That's the best way to do it. Keep them behind your back. Okay. Watch those hands. Watch those hands. Put them behind your back. That's the best way to do it. Put them behind your fingers. You guys can lay down. You can use gyrations with the hips. Use the knees. You can use the knees like this. There you go. Get creative. There you go. No hands. No hands. No hands. You guys see hands? Let me know. You're gonna call me. There you go. Oh, the neck is a good move. See? This is creative. I like this. This is creative. Look at this one. Oh, wow. Wisconsin. Ingenuity over here. Oh, we're close. We're close. You gotta stand up. You gotta stand up. That's a little chest. I need lips to lips. Lips to lips. Lips to lips. No chest. No chest. Oh, they're close. One. Oh, that's chest. You gotta get up. You're so close. No, you got chest. You gotta get up. Lips to lips. Lips to lips. 1, 2. I think we have a tie. Was there a winner? It doesn't look like a tie to me. If Wisconsin won, that makes a noise.
What time is it, gang?
7?
No, what time is it, gang?
It's 1:47.
Okay.
All right, Sarah's taking a break talking to some fans, so we got a face that Badger fans definitely recognize. It is former Wisconsin wide receiver Brandon Williams. Brandon, what's up, man?
What's going on, Alex? How you doing?
I'm doing.
What's up to the fans out there watching on Facebook Live? We everywhere. Big Ten Network, digital, man.
Yes, sir. And, you know, Brandon, you're from Wisconsin, so you probably see some cheese in your day. You ever seen anything like this, though?
I have not. I have seen the cheese lady before. She's always around Wisconsin. I've seen her some Madison stuff, but she's awesome. How do you do that with cheese, people? Don't even try it. You're going to mess your cheese up.
Brandon, we know we had to pull you on because you were off to the side. Tell the fans what you were eating just like 2 seconds ago.
I literally was eating Cheez-Its 2 seconds ago, and I was like, this is crazy. I'm eating Cheez-Its with the cheese lady. It's amazing.
I don't think Cheez-Its can compare to what we got going on here, though.
I don't know. I was eating some pretty good Cheez-Its. I don't know. I would have to say.
What are your thoughts on Cheez-Its? You like Cheez-Its?
Yes. Yes, they have good cheddar flavor. I like that.
I got a question for the cheese lady, though.
Go for it.
What is your favorite sculpture to make with cheese?
I love doing animated animals or like mascots, sports mascots, and I like Buckeye Badger or Brutus. So I love doing that when I go to places. It's the hottest thing I carve is sports mascots.
Anything else, Brandon?
And what's the biggest thing you've ever carved?
Well, my 1,200-pound Buckeye wasn't too bad. And but the largest sculpture I ever did was 2,500 pounds. The largest cheese I ever carved on was 12,000 pounds.
How long do you think it took her to carve that?
How long did it take to carve the biggest one?
Let's say the 2,500 pounds.
A month.
No, 10 days, 150 hours.
Oh my goodness. 10 days.
That's still some heavy work, though.
It is. That is to be applauded. That is to be applauded.
All right, well, let Sarah keep working. You know, she's putting the finishing touches on the trophy now. Brandon, thanks for stopping by, man.
Thank you for having me. And Sarah, you just put the W right in the middle of that. Yeah, put it. Yep. That's right. That's right.
It's already decided, right?
That's right.
Well, after all, the trophy is cheese.
Can't beat the cheese, man.
All right, thanks for coming on, Brandon. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
probably expect that. Yeah, exactly.
Hi.
You're doing great.
Thanks, thanks.
What kind of cheese is that?
Cheddar.
Oh, I should say you're doing Gouda.
Gouda's too soft, but it's pretty Gouda sculpture.
Yeah, if you eat it, it's probably not good after a while.
Oh no, cheddar can take it.
Or Asian can take
We
it.
often serve these at big events. Like the 6-foot alligator I did, 6 feet long, 7 40-pound blocks. This is only 2 40-pound blocks. And we served it to of course,
How long
at the
did alligator
Gator.
take you?
That took me 57 hours. And then we served it at the Gator game.
Did it
And
smell
then
bad? I mean,
presented
you've
the
been cutting a
head
lot
to
of
the
cheese.
coach. What? What?
You said that smell bad because you're cutting a lot of cheese.
No. Only when I'm doing sharp provolone, and provolone smells pretty bad.
I had some
But
smelly
cheddar
cheese.
doesn't smell at all.
Really good cheese.
But I do cut the cheese professionally.
Job as a cheese cutter. I know I
Never doubt the power of cheese processing. Yeah, should we go on? Spicy. That'd be a good cheese.
Carving the Big Ten championship trophy out of cheese.
Just here every other
Yeah, I mean-
every other day.
This happens all the time.
It's a fun social certain observation. It's a big football. And it's for the football and it's a Big Ten on it. There's the practice you did and then the trophy.
Now I'm doing the laces.
Laces out, Sarah.
Wild.
How long did that take you?
Oh, I've been working on it since 8. And I did some work on it last night.
That was awesome.
So let's see. 10, 11, 12, 1, about 8 hours.
That's amazing.
So far, including this. Thanks.
Yeah, that looks really good.
You should see my 1,200-pound Bucky Badger. That was a beauty.
How heavy is that?
This is about 7 pounds. It's a little smaller than regulation. It's only 10 inches long.
Do you mind if I get a picture?
Not at all.
Cool, thank you.
Sure. It's Putsy. Well, if you want to help me cut them,
I'll cut them.
you have to put gloves on and a cutting board. Well, yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll set you up. Not using this.
Hey, Wes. Come on.
Did you get my gloves
Yep,
on?
get some samples.
I'm going to cut some samples up here for you.
Nice.
Full service here.
Wait for Wes to cut us some samples.
Great. Are your hands big?
No, not super big. I'll make it work.
If you put powder in them, they'll go on your hands better. You shake the powder in there?
Powder in them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got Ray. Once you fill the tray, here's my knife.
Oh.
And back here.
Hang on, I'm going to throw your bag here for you.
And we're going to put some toothpicks in here.
What's that? Wayne, shut up. Wayne. Wayne.
You all cut them on an angle and then cut them up with?
Well, I don't care about the shape, but this is a good size. Okay. Calm down. Calm down. Keep going.
All right, jumping back in here with Sarah, who is distributing the cheese right now. You know, save your jokes. Yeah, she's cutting the cheese right now. But Sarah, is there any special technique to how you cut the cheese, how you distribute it to all the hungry people out there?
Well, I put on gloves for cleanliness.
That's good.
And I cut triangles or squares. You know, triangles taste better than squares. But we're serving the sculpture to the crowd. Sometimes I have pulls that I have nice long pulls, and I break it up and put it on the tray.
It's been nonstop. People have been coming up, getting a piece of the cheese.
Yes.
There's been crowds all day. Does it help you work faster or better when people come up and ask you questions and encourage you?
It's more fun, and they're very interested. They're amazed at the size of the cheese, and then they taste it, and it's awesome tasting cheddar. They always have more cheese questions. What are other cheeses? My favorite cheese is this. My favorite cheese is that. It's great.
So some of the sculptures you carve of people, correct?
I carve people's heads, yes.
So give me an example of some famous people that people might recognize of sculptures you have carved.
Well, in the football world, Madden and Michaels from Monday Night Football. I've carved many Packers, Brett Favre, Peyton Manning of the Colts. In the racing world, at Grand Am, the American track down in Lake Geneva, I carved Paul Newman, Mario Andretti, Emerson Fittipaldi, recently Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon.
So do your subjects see the sculptures, the end result?
Yeah, they go on their shows, and then they make cheese jokes.
Does anyone ever say, that doesn't look like me?
Well, Emerson Fittipaldi said, my nose isn't that big, and the other guy said, yes, it is.
Well, if you didn't like it, you can always eat it off too. So
Right. I was just on Harry Connick Jr.'s show, and that's what he did. I did an array of sculptures for him, including his head, and we sculpted his hair and his coiffure, and then at the end he bent down and took a bite off his nose.
That's awesome. So you're a regular at Super Bowls, correct? You've been to some pretty big sporting events. Big Ten championship games, about as big as it gets, but Sarah's been in the Super Bowl. Tell us about that.
Well, I've been at 8 of the last 10 Super Bowls. I am booked to go back to the Minneapolis Super Bowl this February. And it's been usually, the Super Bowl trophy is always included. But I'll do footballs with the opposing teams on, crashing helmets, big sculptures on 500-pound wheels. Lots of the footballs with the logos are really popular. And then I love to do the mascots, the animated, rolling mascots.
With the ball rolling around there. I was worried for a second that it might topple.
Footballs. I love doing footballs. I can make grown men cry with footballs. What are you going to do with that football? What are you going to do with that football?
People ever play catch with it?
Yeah. In fact, Brett Favre, I did
no way.
The Lombardi Trophy for Brett Favre after they won way back in '96. When he had braces, and there was a cheese. I did the Lombardi Trophy and had a media session, and he's sitting there politely, and then he leaned over and took a bite out of the Lombardi Trophy, picked up the football, and is throwing the football around to the media. They're playing football with the cheese football.
That's awesome stuff, Sarah. We'll let you get back to work here. We're distributing the cheese to the masses, and we'll get back with you in a little bit.
Great. Thanks. Good job. Take it easy.
It's okay. I work for the We're self-insured.
If you haven't guessed by now, I'm carving the Big Ten trophy. And then I'm putting my detail on this football now. Thanks.
Now this is Wisconsin cheese, so anyone that eats it, an Ohio State fan, is going to have some problems.
It's
Putting a jinx on the Ohio State. There's no nut guy.
Hi. Gentle.
Sorry.
My sculpture is only cheese.
I know, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I get a little too much into that.
You're all excited.
I get it. No Buckeyes on this. This is Wisconsin cheese.
Well, Wisconsin cheese. Most of the cheese you eat in Ohio is Wisconsin.
And by the way, is this not award-winning cheese?
This is championship cheese. This is world-class gold medal winning cheese in the world.
What kind of cheese is this?
This is Hennings from Kiel, Wisconsin.
Kiel, Wisconsin?
K-I-E-L. Kiel.
Never been there.
It's near Sheboygan.
Never been there either.
It's north of Milwaukee.
I've been there, yes. Me? No.
Probably.
I've barely been to Wisconsin.
Oh. Yes.
I don't know if you saw here, she's actually making the trophy. The big thing trophy out of cheese. Yes. Enjoy.
Oh, what's up, man? Pretty good, pretty good. All right. Do you know what's okay.
I haven't heard the time lately.
2:12.
Whoa.
Anything else? Anything else you need right now? Nope. Just focus on it. Good. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, it's a nice city. I like that. Yeah, it's good to go to see that. Yeah, no, for sure.
Everybody take one and then step back, because there's lots of people that want to enjoy the cheese.
This is very good cheese.
This is world gold medal winning cheese.
Gold medal winning. Who competes in that?
Oh, thousands of cheesemakers all over the world.
Where is it held? In Wisconsin?
Well, it's held in Madison, actually. Interesting. This is from Hennings in Kiel, Wisconsin.
How big of a block was that football when you started?
This is part of a 40-pound block, probably made from about 18 pounds of cheese, and it's now about 8.
Cool.
So it takes a lot of cheese to make a football.
Yeah, no.
This is a little smaller than official. It's only 10 inches long.
I saw the real trophy yesterday, and I think this looks better. It's definitely more tasty.
That's very kind of you.
He'll wait if we ask him to.
What's that?
Come on, give us a green spoon.
You want me to jump
Here,
into
let me
some of this?
Sure.
You guys mind taking a quick photo? Smile. Say cheese.
Oh, it is done tastefully. On in, grab a piece.
Yeah.
Kiel, Wisconsin, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Getting this field down here?
Yes.
You are. Oh, it's amazing.
It is. It's championship gold medal winning cheddar.
And I like to be able to
Oh, wow.
Very good cheese.
Cheese.
Enjoy. Jump in here, grab a piece. No, it's all the same.
Well, some people say the triangles taste better than the square.
Oh. That wasn't part of the original, my original talk up here. Peel, Wisconsin.
Hennings.
Hennings. Name of the place.
That's what the TV network's on.
Award-winning cheese. They beat everyone in the world with this cheese. What is this again?
Hennings.
No, what kind of cheese?
Mild cheddar.
Mild cheddar. There you go.
That's it's nice to do during the summer.
Bring cheese to the mass.
We try and make the best out of it. Laura and I do all sorts of things together. So,
Sorry.
Ohio doesn't make very much cheese.
Come on up and have a piece of cheese. It won't jinx the Buckeyes.
I don't necessarily. We did a facility overhaul this summer. Big presentation that we created. And we talk about not knowing some of the things that schools have done to upgrade, or in some instances downgrade. Yeah,
Hey, Michael, I volunteered for this job. She was working hard here, and we needed to get more samples.
And the people were demanding.
They wanted cheese, so I said, well, we put on some gloves, and we'll get in here and we'll do some cheese testing.
What's up? Hey, how's it going?
Try something.
Wow. This is
Really? All right.
Wisconsin. Well, a person's got to eat. So we are happy to have Wisconsin cheese.
A good game, at least, huh?
A good game means eats.
In the mark.
Hi. Thanks. Hi.
Hi.
All right, we are back, and we brought BTN's Michelle McMahon to join us. Michelle, first of all, what do you think of the cheese sculpture we got going on here?
I am not an artist, but this is art in my brain. How much time does it take for you to build one of these cheese masterpieces?
I can do footballs in about 2 hours. I'm really good at it. I've done many, many, many footballs. It depends on the detail here, but about 2 hours for a football. Now, I started the football yesterday. I did the BTN tailgate logo last night,
love it.
and my base. So let's say this sculpture alone is about 6 plus 9, 10, 11, 12, 10 hours maybe worth of work now.
Wow.
Michelle, I mean, you've done some cool stuff today. You sat with some Big Ten legends. There was James Laurinaitis, Braylon Edwards, but be honest, this is the coolest thing you've seen today, right?
Oh, 1,000%. And I want to take a big cheese chunk out of that football. I want to know what kind of cheese this is. Is this cheddar we got?
This is Hennings cheddar. Here we are with championship teams. We have championship cheese.
Heyo.
This is world gold medal winning mild cheddar in the world. #1
Medal.
from Hennings in Kiel near Milwaukee.
And it's, oh my gosh. And that hat, is that fake cheese or real cheese?
This is my fashionable cheese hat, chapeau, for fancy times. I don't have the classic cheese triangle, but this is my way of saying cheese.
I love it. Wisconsin.
Can you guess where? Can you guess where she's from?
Wisconsin. From
Manitowoc.
Ah, I see. I love it. This
All
is
right.
amazing.
Michelle, thanks for jumping on. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I can tell you're very impressed. So
I am very impressed.
You know, we'll let you get back to work.
I love it. Thanks, guys. We're gonna have some fun. Oh, and don't forget to tune into BTN Tailgate because that's where I'm heading next. 3 to 5. It's gonna be so much fun. We've got a big slate coming up for you guys. It's really exciting.
Should be awesome. Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, no problem. Woo.
Good job, good job, good job.
Thank you.
All right, what's next? Scrum should be plugged. Yeah, I did. Who's our guest?
Boy, this is what I love. These.
Oh, no, not that piece. No, no.
It's about 7 pounds.
I know, that's ridiculous. Yeah, grab it. Oh, it's as much as that.
Come on up and grab a piece if you'd like, yeah.
Jackson, love piece of cheese?
Mild cheddar. Wisconsin's
Championship, World Championship cheddar.
fantastic cheese.
Thanks for doing that.
No problem. Let me get a little more. I'll do a cheese drop for you. Ready?
Took 3 hours.
Oh, all day.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you
It doesn't go bad. It gets warm and it shortens its shelf life, but it doesn't go bad. It might get a little dry and stuff like that. So this cheese is eating as fast as you can cut it.
Oh my goodness. Folks love their Wisconsin.
Well, this is very good cheddar.
Even the Ohio State fans like Wisconsin.
Sure, they have good taste.
Mild cheddar, yep. Very, very good. Wisconsin cheddar.
And there you go. If you notice our picks are low, would you put some picks out, please? What is your name? Hey, Wes. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks for being cheesy.
Good, how are you doing? Award-winning mild cheddar. Very good, very good. Good cheese.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Very good. How often do you go to events like this?
All the time.
Really?
Supermarkets, trade shows, special events, grand openings.
Representatives.
No, all different. Like dairy promotion groups, distributors, cheese companies, corporate things, not just dairy.
I saw you over there from afar, admiring Wisconsin cheese over there. And, no curds.
Probably not going to find it.
I don't know about that. I don't think so.
Hi.
How long did you take?
Well, this is at least 10 hours now. It of course depends on difficulty factor, and some take, the bigger, the more it takes, the more detail. There's a lot of art time in it, blowing up patterns. But this one is at least 10 or 11 hours now. Well, no, if you see on the floor, no. You plan it out. Something like this is, see on the floor back there? That's my pattern. So I have one to look at and one to cut apart and use. Especially when they're bigger. Now this, and they're geometric. Like this one, it has proportion. So it's the more accurate you are, the better your sculpture.
Just nothing miles better, yes. Very good. Doing the trophy.
You did? Well, yes.
Really?
All right, fans, we are just over 30 minutes away from going live on national TV. Right here at the BT and Tailgate. The fellas are on stage getting ready. Jared and Arno and crowd of Stanley Jackson, Spice Islands, Dave Reza on stage. Michelle McMahon's running somewhere. I don't know where she's at. But they're all getting ready to go live. We're just over 30 minutes away from going live on the Big Ten Network. But in the meantime, can we give away some free t-shirts? Is that all right with you guys? If you can hear my voice, you're gonna want to get down here to the corner. This is the BT and Tailgate Live. I got TJ over here with a t-shirt cannon in his hand. It's a Wisconsin shirt. One action. Here we go. Yeah, no. There you go.
Watch out, watch out.
By the way, if you haven't seen Sarah Cheese lately, she's got cards from the Big Ten Championship Trophy out of cheddar cheese. That's a true story.
We're just hit the trophy and now hit over like a half hour.
Yeah.
It was close. It was like, I don't know, 4 feet away. It hit the sign. Fine.
Did it? Hennings in Wisconsin. We were in Wisconsin. Kiel, K-I-E-L, Kiel, near Sheboygan.
You have more toothpicks?
No, I just have that box. That should do it.
Yeah, that might have been there at 2:30.
Here's the deal, guys. I want to ask
All right, we're back on Facebook Live. We found another guy out of the crowd, another big Buckeye fan. This is MV Peter.
That's right.
Pete, where are you from?
I'm originally from Washington, D.C., but I'm currently a veterinary student at The Ohio State University.
So it's quite the get-up you got going on. Show everyone what you got going on with the cape, the belt.
I've got the Ohio State world title belt right here. I've got my cape, MV Peter on the back, and I'm ready for a great football game. That's all I can say.
All right, so no better way to pregame the game tonight than by watching the best cheese carver in the world. What do you think of this going on right now?
This is absolutely amazing. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, and I'm just mind blown right now.
Pete, you got any questions for the cheese lady? I know you've been eyeing the sculpture. Any questions?
Well, these are some amazing sculptures, and I was just wondering, if you were to carve some cheese like my face, how long would that take?
If it was a quickie, it would be like 7 hours.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a believe.
You'd have great cheese hair.
Oh, I bet. This is amazing. Great job. I love it.
You got some nice lettuce going on up there, I gotta say.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, MV Peter, the latest Buckeye fan to stop by. Any other fans out there might be watching? Come on by. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
national TV. I gotta figure out who's here though. We haven't taken the temperature of the crowd in a while. Looking around, there's always a lot of red lights. It's hard to make it out. So we're gonna do this by audio, by noise. Where's my Wisconsin fans at? Whoa. Let's try this again. It's the Big Ten Championship. Y'all are undefeated. Where's my Wisconsin fans? Ohio State fans, are you here? Wisconsin, if you can hear me, if you're a fan of Wisconsin, you need some people over here on the live TV show because Ohio State is represented pretty heavy here at the BTN Tailgate Show. Down here in the front, look at some of the signs that are going to be on TV. Alabama. Oh, wow, this is good. 26th league, January 21st. Never forget, right? Never forget. Ohio State takes on anybody who is not graduating. Is that true, or are you just trying to make your mom mad? This is good. You can't spell Wisconsin without a W. Ooh, I like that. Did you come up with that yourself? Tell the truth. You saw that on TV somewhere, maybe. Pinterest. You got it on Pinterest. Iowa 55, Ohio State 24. Never forget. Never forget. 59 and up. Also, never forget. Get out the cheese grater because Ohio State's going to be shredded. This guy's got two sons. One in each hand. I like that. Double hand. See you next year. Purdue Boilermakers. Brother up. There we go. This day feels a lot like December 6, 2014. Hashtag 59 and up. Guys, if you haven't made a sign yet and you had no idea that we were doing live TV, see that big red tag that says DQ on it? You can make a sign. Get all the markers you could possibly want. All the blank signs. Grab yourself a sign. Get over here. We're going live in about 20 minutes on the Big Ten Network right here. BTN Tailgate.
All right, we are back with a Badger fan. His name is Chris. As you can see, he's got the full outfit on, throwing up the W, representing, showing out for Bucky. Chris, I gotta ask, what inspired this get up today?
Hornibrook only throwing 1 interception per game average.
Gotta love it. You seen the other Badgers walking around, or do you have the best costume in Indy today?
I clearly have the best costume, especially compared to any Ohio State fan out there.
Chris, what do you think of the cheese lady? What we got going on? It's almost done. Give me your thoughts on what's coming together here in front of us.
I think it's very clear which team's going to win today, since we are America's dairy state.
There you go. And Chris, you know, you're eyeing the sculpture. We had to pull you in. Do you have any questions for the cheese lady that have been, burning in your mind?
I guess, what is the best year of cheese, age-wise?
It's like wine. It depends on the year. Every year differs. It's interesting.
One more question I have. We're inside right now. It's climate controlled. You can carve without it melting, but can you do this outside ever? Is there a way to?
Yes, I've carved in 90 degrees for days, and I just have to be out of the sun. I mean, yes, the cheese gets warmer and whooshier, but as long as I'm in the shade, I'm okay.
All right, Chris. Big game tonight, obviously. Give me a prediction. What's going to happen in a few hours here?
I think Ohio State's going to win the coin toss. They're going to score their first possession. Then Hornibrook's going to throw his usual pick 6. And so they're going to be down 14. But then it's going to be nothing but Badgers in the second half. 28-21 Badgers.
There you have it, folks. Thanks for joining us, Chris. I have a feeling you might be on TV tonight with that outfit. So good luck. You're already on Facebook Live. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Sarah, looks like you're almost done here. How much time you got left? How long does it take to put the finishing touches?
Well, I have 10 minutes. Ah!
All right, we'll get back with you to wrap up in just a minute. As you can see, we're almost done here. The stand is complete, and we're going to put the football on in a little bit. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Mcmahon will join us in a bit. We've got some Buckeyes, some Badgers fans behind us, fired up and ready to go. And there is a lot of red. It's Untitled Chapter. There's red and there's scarlet. Scarlet and purple. Yes. You show me the difference. Look at it. What are you doing? That's scarlet right there. That's scarlet. Hey, there you go. He doesn't get it. He's a little color. Watch out, man. Watch out, buddy. Over here. Nice shot. Nice shot. Yeah, she did. She did. She's having the 7th ever Big Ten championship game on the enormous stakes for both teams. Let's get to our championship game storylines. For the match was pretty straightforward. Win and you are in. Wisconsin did this game for the 5th time most of any school. They're 2-2 here, with the most recent appearance being a loss last season. Ohio State meanwhile was here for the 3rd time versus 2014 when they hammered the Badgers 59-0. We got them into the first ever college football playoff and play for the national championship. Both teams still very much alive in this year's playoff. Wisconsin moved up to number 4 in the rankings this week. So they're in great shape. The Buckeyes are 8. They need to win. And hopefully win keeps their position. Ohio State says JT Barrett will play tonight. This is despite reports of a minor surgical procedure on his knee. Barrett says he aggravated a fire injury in the Michigan. Someone will take the sidelines for 4 months. For more on that story, welcome to the show.
Defensively, they get
My level. Well, I would do the best version of it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna have her like just recap everything she did real quick, and then I'll say, thanks so much, good job. Let's have a bit. How about around the cross?
Hey everyone, how we doing? Let's hear it from the Badger fans. How are the Buckeye fans? Yes, how about the other? Thanks so much for coming out. We were really excited to have everyone here. We're going to be going live, national TV, 90 million homes in about 6 minutes. Have fun, be loud, be enthusiastic. That's so cool. Tell your friends about you to join us as well. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for all the kind words that people have shared just walking around the hallways today and in town. We're thrilled that you're here, and the fans are such a big part of BTN, and we see BTN as the fans network. So thank you, enjoy, have fun, keep it clean.
All right, Sarah, coming on. All right, 2 hours later, we are back with the cheese lady, Sarah Kaufman, with the finished product. Sarah, just for those who have been maybe just tuning in, recap what you've done today.
Well, I woke up this morning and knew I had to carve the most beautiful trophy to celebrate this championship event. So I have at least 11, 12 hours into this, which is not a lot. But I did spend some time last night getting ready. But here it is. Ta-da!
It looks great. It looks amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. So that'll do it for us here. Sarah, great job. Thanks so much for coming on with us.
You're welcome.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap from Indy. Remember, tune in to BTN Tailgate in about 5 minutes right now on BTN from 3 to 5 Eastern. And watch the game tonight between Ohio State and Wisconsin. That'll do it for us.
And go Badgers!
Would it be bad to say choose? Would it be bad to say choose? Thank you. This is so cool.